My name is Kent and I'm 27 years old. So originally, I was born and I grew up in Cebu City. But then by 2012, my mother moved to Davao City for work and eventually we also moved there. I'm working as an online tutor since 2018, January of 2018. So I've been working from home for a couple of years already. So I'm the youngest of three siblings. I have a sister and a brother than me. My father is a seafarer, so most of the time he's not around, and my mom is an office worker. So I grew up really with my mom, hands on, but I studied in a Catholic school and my mom is a devout Catholic. So at an early age, I was already exposed to Christianity or Roman Catholic for the sake of just following it. I also serve as an altar server in the school and eventually in our parish. Then growing up in Cebu, most of you know it's maybe one of the most liberated cities then also. So the lifestyle as growing up as a teenager, then although we studied in a Catholic school, but the influences of other friends and teenagers, puberty stage, exploring, trying out life, being curious about what's outside. We moved to Davao. The company of my mom opened a branch in Davao City. She was tasked to be the manager or to take care of the branch there. At first, she went there first. Then I followed. I was around 15 years old, so it was fourth year high school. So I graduated in Davao City for fourth year high school. It was quite hard because I need to adjust. Then yung mga friends ko na I built for the years. Then I moved to a place I don't know anyone. Then yun, graduating from a school that a new student. Then most of the students there, they knew each other already. So the adjustment from the lifestyle, from the language also, medyo iba yung language din sa Davao City. Yun, at first it was very sad. Parang after graduation ng high school, I want to go to Cebu again. But eventually, the whole family stayed there in Davao City. The reason why gusto kong bumalik, kasi nga nandun yung friends ko, nandun yung parang comfort place ko, yung comfort zone ko. So, mas gusto ko doon, yung baga I can hang out more. Then, yung term ko nga, I was deported to Davao City from Cebu and because napabarkada din when I was still in Cebu. So, yun, my mom don't want me to be with the same circle of friends. So, yeah, I have no choice because they're still spending for me, for my studies. I studied hesitantly in Davao. And it's just emotional because right now that the same school that is where the feast is now held in Davao, that's where my home feast is being held. So just connecting how the Lord is really moving. So yung isang picture, I think I was around second year high school. That's a party in Cebu City. It's a summer party festival. Naturally, bawal yung minors, pero we were there. So that's one of maybe the lifestyle. I started really drinking at a young age, and I even smoked for a couple of years. Then yun, yung after school, especially when I was in high school, after that we studied in a private school. Then most of my classmates, they're well off then, so they can afford, some have cars. So yun, after school, gumagala kami, pupunta kami ng gimikan or inuman, then we drink, then we don't go to class anymore. We drink first, then classes after how many weeks, then computer games, then yun, uwian late at night. Minsan, umaga, naka-uniform pa, magbihis na lang sa bahay. So, yun yung lifestyle. I was exposed to that lifestyle at a very young age. Actually, nakakat yan. I was holding a pitcher and a glass. So, ako yung tanggero dyan. It's a group of friends. It's by the poolside. So, nakakat lang yan or when I uploaded it. So, yeah. My mom is, sabi ko nga, very devout. She's one of the most loving person that I really, really knew to her family, to her siblings, to all of us. So my mom, there were times na my mom is really crying. Yung kumbaga yung prodigal son na story, just begging not to do that, and yung inuumaga may exam pa pagka kinabukasan. So yung mom ko may maraming times na umiyak talaga, na at first hindi ko siya na appreciate agad, pero looking back, it's really the sacrifice and the pain that I caused her during that time. When I was studying again sa school nung college, I was introduced to this direct selling or multi-level company. So again, at a very young age, I also want to earn. Then I tried it out. I started selling. During that time, again, as a student, I was earning 5,000 to 10,000 a month. So that's plus I have an allowance from my parents. So yung para sa akin malaki na yun kasi I'm still a teenager back then. So kumita, tapos yun, parang yung priority hindi na yung studies, gusto ko na lang gawin yun. Yung baga parang na-shock ka na meron. Pwede palang kitain. Ayaw ko nang graduate kasi, well, I was still studying. Pwede ko namang kitain. So, of course, the vices are still there. I was still drinking and smoking, partying. Pero yun yung mas naging focus ako dun sa direct selling or distributing products. And that's one of the reasons that I eventually dropped out of school. And that's another pain that my mother had to endure. But eventually, she said that she will just support me if whatever path that I want to take.
I am Inita Rianto, 61 years old, Kent Eliseo's mother. Si Kent, sa Cebu, yun na siya gianak. So, dito na siya nag-eskwela. Na-transfer na siya din sa Davao when he was 4th year high school. Ang high school life, mao ko na ang pinaka-crucial life of a teenager. So, murag diha sad ako ang na-observe. Kay before na siya, kanang elementary na siya, altar boy na siya sa Cebu. Murag, kuan kay dedicated na siya dito. So, gakuyog-kuyog sa kuan na niya, kung sa kuan pa murag stage mother. Kung ato na siya sa simbahan, na siya kuan sa dito ko, nagkuyog-kuyog. Pag high school na, nag-una manggod ko transfer diri, kay na-transfer akong work diri. So, nabili na siya sa Cebu. And then, murag na-notice na ako nga nakuha na siya sa barkada. Until time nga, nabalhin na siya diri. So, murag magsigarilyo na, mag-inom na. Which murag, nakuansad ko ba kay, kung naabaya ka sa church ha, kanang murag server. So, wala man na siya mga friends nga mag-iuna na. Murag, na kuan lang siguro siya na nadala or basin for curiosity sake nga ni try. So murag katong nga time, murag na kuan sad ko ba ingon ako nga, Lord, is this a trial? But still I pray kuan ma-transform, mabalik to for what he was. Then auto na observe na kuan na to siya nga katong nga time dili na kay siya magsimba. Kaya na notice na ko na siya yung mga barkada. Pero ma-compare man nimo, compare ito yung mga barkada when he was still serving, active siya sa church. Murag lahi na nga group. When he graduated high school, nag-ingon siya, pwede ba siya mabalik sa Cebu? Kay musulod siya sa seminary. Then giinan ako siya nga, dinhilang usa ka sa Davao, mag-psychology. Then after that, pwede. So murag, paminaw na ko, nawala nga interest sa pag-eskwela. At second year, dili na kayo siya kuan like before nga kanang kay since elementary performer yun na siya sa school. So kanang naagyo na siya top 1 na niya. Nag-eskwela na siya sa Cebu kana man sa private school niya, standard school sad ba, University of San Carlos. So kuan gyud nimo nga pag naabot na siguro siya, mo sa na akong gikuan nga siguro katungging na nako siya nga dili lang siya musud sa seminary. Murag gi-surrender na nako niya kung unsa ba jud iyang plano para ni Kent nga. kung if he really wanted Ken to serve the Lord, then siya rin nakahibalo sa kuan para ni Ken. So kato kay nako nga dili to siya makasulod sa seminary, so pag iundang pa yun sa eskwela, so inako murag no more chance nga makaserve pa siya ni Lord. But God is really amazing. Kay after pagsulod niya sa kuan, pagsulod niya sa sa feast, and then karon nag-active siya sa kanang orphanage and other services, nag-active siya. So the Lord is really it's really amazing.
Actually, it became my bread and butter talaga yung multi-level marketing. That's the only world that I knew about earning that time. So I think also it helped me communicate with people at a young age. I talked to my titos, to my titas, eventually to strangers, to doctors, to professional. I was still a student, so kumbaga the confidence, I think it helped me really built. It was a good training ground that I experienced. Then again, transferred to other company. Then I was burned out. It's really a good industry, but of course, in any industry, there are really people who will take advantage of it. So, yun, I was just hurt by a couple of people. I thought that maybe it's not for me, so I transferred again. I went to Mati that time. It's a 3-hour drive from Davao City. That's the hometown of my mother. We have relatives there. I stayed there and I worked there for 3 to 6 months in Mati. So that's where I worked corporate work. So when I moved to Mati, again, I want to just escape yung baga kung wala nakakilala sa akin doon, just the relatives. Then my tito asked me, he's connected in the city government of Mati, if I want to work. And at first, I really hate working because I don't want to be a 8 to 5 kind of person. Pero yung baga yung mindset ko, I have a negative prejudice of employment. So, yun, sabi ko, parang niloloko na yung pride ko. Sige, just I work parang para malimutan lang. And yun, I started working in the city government of Mati. After Samati, I decided to come home to Davao. Maybe after 6 months, I went back here and I saw it on Facebook. Yung nga, binibiro ko pag may nagtatanong sa akin. It's the Holy Spirit who invited me. Kasi it's just a Facebook post, or it was an ad of one feast. Then I sabi ko, matagal ko na ito nakikita. Ngayon nakikita ko ulit. At that time, parang wala, kasi galing ako sa Mati, tapos hindi naman nag-work. Baga, back to zero na naman, wala ako ng Davao. So when I went to Davao, sabi ko, wala namang mawawala. So, yun, I attended my first feast as Feast SM Ecoland. So, I went there by myself. I went there by myself, but I didn't feel alone. Nung papasok pala ako, there were almost all the attendees are youth, and they greeted with all energy, welcome to the feast. So parang na-culture shock ka pa kasi hindi mo alam anong pinasok mo. I didn't even know if it's Catholic or not, so wala talaga akong idea what will happen. So I just went inside, then again, people has been greeting me, then I seated. Tapos yung worship, I don't remember the song anymore, pero yung worship awkward din kasi people are raising their hands, the emotions, people were crying, the lights are off. So baka nag-observe lang, just a typical first timer in the feast. So yun, yung sa akin parang hindi ako masyadong na-amaze. Sabi ko, okay lang, then pwede pa rin akong bumalik next time. Parang I did not close the door. Sabi ko, I could attend kung meron na namang sunod. The first time I attended the feast, they announced that there will be a feast break. There will be no feast the next week in preparation of Kerigma conference. Now it's a feast conference. So, kumbaga sabi ko, okay, baka next time din naman ako maka-attend. But I want to attend the KCON because they said Bo Sanchez will be there. Was ticketed. I didn't have money, so someone paid a KCON ticket for me. Gifted it to me. Again, I attended my first KCON. I was also alone. I was by myself also. That time, that was my first time na huge crowd talaga and people were worshiping. I think that was the first time that I lifted my hands during the worship song, and I could not forget that song. It was Never Fail. So I think that's the response song. The theme was committed, and Brother Bo preached the last message. Stay long enough for the best wine. Yun yung sabi niya doon. And that time it hit me kasi again, during that previous years, I was into network marketing. I tried working. Then I think it did not work for me. So parang yung feeling ko, parang I'm a loser, parang sayang yung mga nangyari doon. Pero when Brother Bo said that you have to stay long enough for the best wine. So parang I was reassured that maybe may chance pa. And John Escoto before that said that you don't cut the tree. The word is yet. Dapat dugtungan daw yung yet, yung after every failures or setback. You don't cut the tree because it's not bearing fruit yet. Whenever fail, that song, I think I can remember the verse. It became my life verse. It's Philippians 1:6. He who began the good work in you will bring it into completion through Christ Jesus. So yun yung phrase, yung line ng never fail na I believe you'll complete the work that you began in. So I was maybe remembering that the seed that was planted when I was still serving in mass, in school, in our parish. And I think maybe Lord hindi pa too late siguro that God can still do something. God can still repair the damage maybe that I've done to myself and to my loved ones, to my family. So yun, it gave me hope na that song, it's really personal. It has a personal message. Towards the end of the year, our family, my father, we have a small lechon business because my father is from Cebu. So we tried selling lechon. During that time, December, it's a peak season for lechon because of the celebrations. I was helping in the house. Then my sister knew that I was there back again in the house. So she said that if I want to work, she can help me. If I want to have an online work, she can help me. She can purchase a laptop for me. So with hesitation, again, parang sabi ko, wala naman akong choice. So I just tried. So I applied for an online work. Then by January, that was the first, I started working online, January of 2018 and until now. So my sister really picked me up, also helped me to start again and believe in me. So come January, feast na naman. So I attended, still living double life, just receiving, then still doing something after the feast or parang once a week lang si Lord. So other days, I am the Lord. So hindi pa rin ako nagsisimba and I don't receive the sacraments. When I started working already as an online tutor, that's also I believe really God's blessing to me through my sister, through the feast. That time kasi I need to speak in 25 minutes, then there's just a 5-minute break. So I don't want to smoke kasi I feel some drought here. So I just tried not to smoke. Then day becomes weeks, weeks becomes months, and now it's been 5 years or 6 years already since I haven't smoked a cigarette. Yung drinking naman, kasi nga I work, then if I drink, parang masakit yung ulo ko kinabukasan, working from home. So I started minimizing it also. Then yun, yung being addicted to alcohol talaga na after a year or more, hindi na talaga. Hindi na ako natitempt or hindi na ako na-attract talaga sa alcohol. When I started attending the feast, yun, parang yung time talaga na I remember that I really surrendered my life again, or I really encountered the Lord in a very personal way. That was a story of the 10 lepers, and they got healed, but only one went back. And the worship song that time, it's Heart of Worship. So that's the time that I can really remember that I really surrendered my life to God, and I said that I will really try my best. I will struggle to really follow the Lord. And in-invite na ako ng feast builder namin, kasi after the feast, they meet us outside. Mag-serve ka na, parang gano'n. Tango-tango lang, I still don't want to serve. I just want to keep on receiving. Pero nung March, something happened. My ex-girlfriend, for 5 years, we broke up. Then, yung parang naisip ko that when I was trying to build a good relationship with the Lord, with the family, and my finances, because I'm working already, then why is this relationship taken away from me? So yun, it was painful. I did not understand it at first, but then the Lord used it after that. Our builder said, you serve ka na. I said yes, kasi parang the intention was not yet that good. I just want na makalimot or to be busy, and one condition, I told my builder, I can serve but behind the scenes, because I don't want my friends to see me there, and maybe di sila maniwala sa feast kasi alam nila ano ako, then I'm serving there. So yung builder naman nag-agree, pero eventually nilagay niya ako sa warmth ministry. So warmth ministry is on the front row of the feast. So sabi ko, okay, pero nandun ako. So I just followed, and yun, it's the start of my service in the feast. Yeah, yung chorus, yung I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. So yung parang na-connect ko siya yung sa never fail, that He never stops to complete the work that He began in me. And it's my response now. I'm going back. I'm here again, Lord. Kumbaga nun. Kasi nga, I used to serve you in when I was younger. Although service, but iba yung ginagawa din. Pero here I am, Lord. Yung baga, eto na, parang last chance or last hope ko na. So yun, that's the I remember that I really resurrendered my life. I was already serving that time, pero nahihiya pa akong mag-approach other servants. So I just sat down, naghihintay lang ako na natawagin. So I think that was also the first photo that I know na captured ako sa feast, and that's during a worship song. So yun, I think that's heartfelt na yung tumatagos na talaga yung the message and the songs, the worship songs to me. So
I'm Catherine, anak warrant head ng Mindanao. First na nakilala ko si Ken, first day na nakilala ko siya, sobrang down to earth na tao, sobrang bait. Nasabi kong mabait si Ken kasi mapagbigay. At talagang down to earth na tao, at saka ayaw niya ng gulo. Sobrang gusto niya lang yung masaya ang lahat. ma-describe ko sa family si Kahit, sobrang mabait na kuya sa mga pamangkin niya at sobrang obedient sa mga magulang niya. Grabe na bata. Kasi lagi kaming nagpo-phone call, pero bago bago yung tatawag sa akin, Ate Kat, patutulugin ko muna yung pamangkin ko ha. Kaya sobrang bait nun. Kaya yung as friend, as a feaster, ganun din na masabi namin. Kahit hindi lang ako, halos lahat ng mga feasters, ang masasabi talaga nila, sobrang bait ni Ken. Tsaka, marunong makisama talaga. Yun, tahimik lang siya, but ang way niya kasi sa sobrang tahimik na, hindi yung parang tahimik na suplado, pero tahimik na mabait.
Our builder, Brother Arnold, texted or called me asking if I want to be a feast light planter for Mindanao. Yung question ko, anong gagawin? Sabi ko, wala naman akong alam dyan. Sabi ng builder ko, punta daw ako sa other parts of Mindanao, then I'll start a feast light. Sabi ko, and that's still a pandemic. I think that's the level 1 or something. And my parents are already elderly, then we have 3 kids in the house, may mga pamangkin. So if I travel, that would still be a risk. And comfortable ako sa bahay. I'm working from home, serving from home. So, safe na. Hindi na ako kailangan mag-mask and nasa bahay lang ako. So, sabi ng builder ko, you pray about it and tawagan kita. Sabi ko, I prayed. Pero initial ko talaga, ayaw ko kasi nga, I was comfortable. And so, yun. Tawag yung builder ko, nakapag-decide ka na? Sabi ko, no lang muna. Sabi niya, I will contact Brother Jing na daw ako na daw magsabi. So, sabi niya, let's have lunch. So, when we talk, I said about the situation, he compromised. And iniisip ko anong nakita ni Bro Jing sa akin or ano yung reason bakit na pinastart ng Feast Light. So, ako na-experience ko naman during the pandemic, the value, the power of being small kasi nga yung feast namin became small, yung light group became small. So, we became more intimate with each other. We get to know the struggles, the stories, even the family. So our feast pre-pandemic, that's around 700 people, 2 sessions. So hi, hello lang, even the servants. We don't have really time na mag-usap. Pero during sabi ko, the light group really saved me during the pandemic. We get to journey, pray for one another, celebrate birthdays and victories, from house blessings to binyag to kasal. So we celebrate it. So sabi ko naman, yeah, maybe I have the credibility to really start or be with the Feast Light in Mindanao. That was March of last year. Then we have a Feast Light in Butuan. There are 2, but the one in Butuan, doon tayo first. I went to Butuan, met the leaders. Nagpakilala na ako ng sarili ko. Then I'm Kent. Then ganun, I messaged them. And yung Kidapawan din, just helping them start. Then we opened one in Samal Island, just a boat ride from Davao. It's a parish base na sa youth. Then in Jensan, in Coronadal, we also started it there. So, yun. Now, kasi I'm the Feast Light coordinator for Mindanao. So, it's whole Mindanao. We have 22 Feast Lights now. Then one, I am directly planting it. I am there every week because it's just near our house.
First na service na kung saan si Ken nag-serve, it was really, hindi siya naghanap ng yung big service. he just said, kung saan ako pwede bro, saan ako kailangan. I let him serve sa warmth ministry. No, not as a leader at first, no? Member lang talaga siya ng warmth. And there I saw how Kent is very faithful, generous, and humble. I've always known about the past life of Kent. His struggles with his families, vices, and even in his studies. But I'm really inspired, no, on how he really decided to change. No, because without him deciding, even with all the advices, the discipleship, it will not matter, no? Because he really decided to change. And he was really very open to changing. And because of that, Kent has really touched so many lives for such a short span of time that he served in the ministry.
Yeah, palakpakan natin si Lord. Sige, pwede na mo. O, sige. Ingnan mong katapad. Ready na ka? Ready na ka. 30 minutes na po. Ingnan mong katapad. Ay na, dili matulog.
Dili matulog ha.
So, unsa kito itong istoryahan? The past weeks? Unsa itong book sa Bible? Jonah. Oh, layo to si Joanne. Nag-birthday to ganyan si Ate Joanne. Jonah. So, nata sa 3rd week, no? So, 5 weeks, we will explore the book of Jonah, no? So, ang gusto mo kaon? Yeah, so we started of His Light in Child Hope, the head of our intercessory team, Ate Bing, no? Found a Child Hope, this kind of foundation. It's a shelter for kids, all boys. No, they have their parents. Some of them they're not still orphaned, pero their parents either they're abandoned or their parents cannot provide for their needs, so they're housed in a facility. And then we help, nag-outreach kami doon, and yung parang director nila is a follower also of Brother Bo. Sabi niya na matagal ko nang gustong ma-meet si Brother Bo, or nagpe-pray na merong feast day na dito sa mga kids. So, at the first time nag-outreach kami doon, August of last year. So, sabi ng builder namin, mag-feast light ka dito. Kasi yung outreach every 3 months, yung feast light every week, yung spiritual nourishment for the kids. So, yun. Every week, we're doing it religiously with the kids. And yun, the same na you want to go there, you want to bless them, pero at the end, they're blessing you. They're sa sharing nila, yung hug nila na thank you kuya, because I let them end with a prayer na I let them lead. Then one of their prayers really is, bless Kuya Kent as he go home, guide him, and yun, give him protect him, the courage, yung parang tinatawag ko na it's really the joy that the world cannot give. Na? Yung masaya sila nakikita ko. One, dahil may tinapay akong dala. Pero aside from that, they asking anong book, anong Bible na naman yung i-learn natin ngayon, kuya. So yun, na-touch lang ako kasi I have my pamangkin. I learned to value them more because of the kids. And I'm the youngest. I prayed for more siblings than my mother have 3 miscarriage. And I was asking why the Lord doesn't want me to be a elder brother. Then when I joined the feast, I was given the opportunity to head the warmth ministry. It's all the youth. That was the first time I was called kuya by a lot of people. So I was really just connecting the dots that really the Lord has really prepared me, and now it's really personal being with the kids every week, trying to be there and to laugh, to cry. They're also emotional with their sharings, and I also introduced to them the value of giving. I told them that this that this facility is not funded. It is run by generous people, and you've been here for years. And I told them that maybe you will ask, Kuya, bakit kami magbibigay? Kami nga yung napatulungan. Sabi ko sa kanila, no one is too poor that they cannot give, and no one is too rich that they cannot receive. So I asked them, set a portion of your baon, dedicate it to the Lord. Tapos tinanong nila, para saan man to, Kuya? Sabi ko, what will the Lord do with your 1 peso, 2 pesos? Wala. Pero what will the Lord do through you? And sabi ko sa kanila na, looking back after how many years, you will not harvest the fruits of your giving, pero after how many years you're giving, it will help the future kids that this facility will hold. So yun, na-miss lang ako kasi yung una parang nahesitan pa sila, Kuya, para saan ba to? Saan mapupunta? Sabi ko, sa inyo yan. Tapos yung next balik ko, yung iba may dala na sa bulsa nila. Yung next, alkansya nila, sa baon nila, kinukuha talaga nila. So yung last week, nag-love offering kami, bakasyon na. Sabi ko, wag nyo ubusin kasi wala na kayong baon kasi nga bakasyon, walang school. So yun, I just instilled on them that you can really give something, and without generous people, we won't have a feast light, wala tayong tinapay, wala tayong kakainin dito. So this is something bigger than ourselves. So, yun. Yeah, I think this is the first. We still use a projector. That's the first time that we launched the feast light in Chaldo. That's our venue every week. So they were very happy kasi that's a non-sectarian facility. So there were other denominations going there, but no one can sustain going there every week. Parang iba kasi yung place namin medyo malayo sa city proper. So no one can go there every week. Parang once a month may pumunta doon. So sabi naman yung nagmamanage sa kanila, it's really a blessing kasi matagal na sila nagpe-pray, and bonus pa because it's the community of Brother Bo Sanchez. So yun, we started it there. They're very happy, and going there every week after a series, nagtanong sila, Kuya, hindi ka na magbalik? Kasi tapos na, sabi ko, ano bang gusto nyo, magbalik or hindi? Sabi ko, syempre gusto magbalik. So sabi ko, parang bago din sa kanila na merong pupunta talaga doon, consistent every week. So that's the first time. After that, I wanted to be more intimate. Nag-laptop lang kami, tas parang round table. Maybe fulfilled. At that time, I don't know what breakthrough will happen. Career, physical, spiritual, and I went to a personal retreat during my birthday. I cycled alone on a mountain near the waterfall. So I just spent time there doing nothing, being with the Lord. And yun, I think it really prepared me. And looking back now, maybe it's really fulfilling seeing the fruits that God is really doing, and using me as having a small part in this work, that the experience of I am blessed with the feast, and not all can go to the feast, so why not we bring to the feast to that areas where there are no feasts yet. So I think it's fulfilling, although it's not all the time motivating. There will many times you're tired, naulanan, mainit, pero just knowing that this is not for me, this is something bigger. And I always tell them na parang hindi kami yung front act, parang nandun lang kami tagadala and I'm slowly immersing then other servants to the blessing pala, kasi nakikita ng iba yung ginagawa ko. One of our prayers is to bring them in one of the feast conference, and we started it last year. We gave a ticket to their director. They attended the feast conference. Hopefully this year we can bring more kids to the feast conference.
Kahit really is a humble person, selfless, genuine, very open, very teachable. No? I've always believed that it's not about our capabilities. It's always about our availability. No? Because the grace of God will just be with you, no, when you say yes to Him. And that's what Ken did. He said yes to the Lord, and the Lord blessed his yes.
Ko na-notice na ko nga this time or mao na gyud ang iyang nga when he joined the Feast Light Ministry group nga he became active so naay mga kuan siya dito bisag walay tulog kuan gyud siya sumurag na notice na ko nga kung unsa siya before katong elementary time niya nga active siya usay sa simbahan na matulog kay mag-duty early morning anak karon murag nabalik so ingon ako mo na akong na-notice na ko nga Lord.
The three people that I like to thank and has been God's instrument in my faith journey and through the feast. First, it's really my mom who was very patient, loving to me. She was Jesus to me in flesh. I saw how she loved me, how she took care of me, even if I'm a sinner, even if I made mistakes. Umuwi ng lasing sa bahay, she was there for me, and that gave me a glimpse of how Jesus loves. So she's my greatest intercessor, and I believe that I encountered the Lord through the feast because I have a mom who is really praying for me and who is always there for me. So yun, yung mother ko. Next is our feast builder, Brother Arnold Sanico, who really trusted me, who gave me the opportunity to serve, not questioning my capabilities or my credentials or if I can do it, but just giving me opportunities to serve, to lead, and the trust that he really gave me, and for discipling me, especially during the pandemic, really being able to be disciple and do life together with our build. So, and next, of course, si Ate Cathy, yung warmth head namin sa Mindanao. Because I was part of the warmth ministry and she handles the warmth ministry, so we were able to have times together then and even outside service. So very one call away din na ate namin sa Mindanao. So, what I learned siguro is really the value of giving back. There will be times that you will be helped, but don't forget really to give it back kasi it's just paying forward. It does not have to stop from you. So no one invited me to the feast. I just I mentioned that I saw it on a Facebook post. Then during the pandemic, it became online, so it became a personal mission then to me to promote it online because maybe there's someone there who just needs to see a Facebook post, a Facebook ad that could invite them to the feast and maybe bring one soul closer to the Lord. I also mentioned that my first KCON ticket, it was given to me. So I made a decision that every year I'll give away tickets. I want people to bless. The first person that I gave the ticket to, I offered it to the person who gave it to me, trying to pay it forward and giving it to other people year by year. And I was blessed through the publications of the feast and the resources that we have. So I'm also trying, I'm nourished especially with the feast books. I'm also trying to pay it forward. My first didake was given, that's the daily prayer reflection guide that we have in the feast. It was a gift to me by our builder, Brother Arnold, and it blessed me. So after a year, I said that hindi ako papayag na hindi ako makaka-bless ng iba. So I gave away free copies year by year. So, and I just tell them, you give it back, you give it away. So I'm just happy that it's having an effect then to other people. They're also doing it to others. So my message is just keep giving it away. If you've been blessed, try to be a blessing to others. So if you're someone who don't know what the feast is or have been to the feast before pero nahihiya bumalik, no? So I invite you to, there's a feast really near your place, no? It's online, it's face to face, no? Connect to a feast near you, a feast light near you, and be surrounded with really messy people. This is a messy church for messy people. So who will strive to journey and to struggle together. And I just pray that all who are watching this, one day your stories, you don't need to be here to tell your stories, but you just need to be there in that area, in that place that God has called you to tell your stories there and to shine His light there to that part of the world. So I hope to see you at the feast. Until now, looking back, it's really God's grace na pulled me through. Yun pala yung tanong ko, bakit pinalipat ako ng Davao na my life I thought was already perfect, and siguro if hindi ako pinalipat ng Davao, I will not be introduced to the feast. I will not be able to serve, to meet the people, and be blessed by the stories of the people, and serving with the feast for over the year, the sacrifices that they're doing. It really helped me, especially if I'm on a mission, if I go to a place, ako yung nababless sa ginagawa nila kahit limited yung resources. I'm just honored and privileged to be given that parang front row seat na binigay ni Lord sa akin to see how He will transform lives.